Okay, now, where to? Can't go back to Richmond. This whole area is a war zone. Gotta... go? Yeah, we have to go, AJ. This place, we can't stay here. Can't go back to Richmond. This whole area is a war zone.
Can't go back to Richmond. This whole area is a war zone.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and we're back for another Walking Dead video. Guys and gals, I just want to give you a big thank you for the support on our last video, which was basically my return to making Walking Dead videos. We discussed the possibility of future Walking Dead games after the 1-year anniversary of Take Us Back. 3.5k likes, 64,000 views, only 38 dislikes, and my goal for the video was 500 likes. So we got 7 times the amount of likes as I had predicted. And that means Walking Dead videos are going to start coming a little bit more than I anticipated. We're probably going to aim for 2 a week now. So I'm back. Thank you guys for your support on the last video. And this is something I never got to discuss after the final season ended. I discussed several videos before about the Garcia family, and before episode 4 about, you know, Richmond being mentioned in this McHale Ranch flashback. So what I'm attempting to do in this video is give you my opinion on what I think is going on in Richmond since Clementine had left at the end of A New Frontier. There were several details we got in the final season that gave us hint, and obviously I think there's a big portion of the community that if there is a possibility of a new Walking Dead game or a spin-off, that Javier or something involved with him, Richmond, any of that, comes back. And a lot of people, when they look back at season 3, they didn't really like it, but one of the bright spots for a lot of people, and myself included, was Javier. And Richmond, what happened to it, the Delta. There's this entire thing that I believe, if they really want, they can go deeper into, or they can just leave it up to us, the fans, to come up with our opinions and make a thought about it. Our goal is 1,000 likes for this video. If any of you guys do enjoy this video, hit that red subscribe button, as about 68% of you guys who watch are not subscribed, so please make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss any videos or streams in the future.
If I had a dime.
So the first reference we got in the final season to Richmond was from episode 3, Broken Toys. And this was Abel. When we had the interrogation with him in episode 3, he said some very interesting things. Let's go quickly roll to that clip.
You don't know what it's like out there. It's a bloodbath. One community against another. From Richmond to the coast. Back at the Delta, we're at war. With some really sick fucks who make me look like the Virgin Mary. We need people to fight it.
And I'm assuming y'all heard that. So that's the interesting part that really comes into play. That the Delta, this group of raiders that are taking children, basically to fight for them in this war. So it appears to me, based on this, the Delta's losing this war. Hence why they have to be stealing all these children to train them as soldiers and all that. And again, this other community they're fighting, we don't know who they are. We can assume Richmond's maybe a small part of it, but it doesn't appear to me, based on what was said here, that they are fighting Richmond, that Richmond's a smaller part of this bigger war. And as Abel had said, this war spans from Richmond, Javier's community, all the way to the East Coast. And it gives you the inclination that Javier and Richmond are in this conflict, probably unforceably, but they are involved, this Delta and this other group going at it while Richmond is part of it, spanning. And we don't know if Richmond maybe has a side in this or they're just separate from it, but I'm assuming Richmond is not with the Delta because I know Javier would not support this. But it's very interesting that they've mentioned this, that they brought Richmond into this discussion, and it gives us kind of a thought into what this is. Now, Lily said something at the end of episode 4 when she basically had her last appearance about what will happen to the Delta if they don't get these children. And that kind of supports maybe a little bit what Richmond's doing.
Without reinforcements, my people will lose their war. They'll die because of you.
I don't care!
The Delta was the first place I called home, after years of wandering. After this, there won't be anything left to go back to.
Good.
You deserve to be alone.
Thus proving my point, the Delta is losing this war terribly, and they need these children very, very much. So we can see the Delta potentially losing this war. So Richmond could either be on the winning side, the losing side, or just be involved in the crossfire. So lots of different possibilities what Richmond could be doing. Now let's go into the McHale Ranch part of this, what I showed at the beginning of the video, and I'll discuss that.
But it's so hard to look down when I see your face.
So, nextly, we're going to discuss the McHale Ranch. This is where David, and again, gave it to Dr. Lingard. Dr. Lingard decided to put AJ in this ranch. Now, finally, after, again, several implications in the first 3 episodes done running, we had that little reference AJ made, not like the ranch. Episode 2, we had that little nightmare Clementine had. Episode 3, Broken Toys, Lee had mentioned it to Clementine, where it was a mess. And in episode 4, in my opinion, probably not the best flashback we could have gotten, but definitely a feels-inducing one, where it basically explained the ranch and Clementine, how she quickly got out of there and saved AJ. But you noticed it was on fire and there was a big battle going on, probably the remaining remnants of the ranch fighting Delta soldiers and maybe even the other community that's fighting the Delta. But basically the ranch was done when Clementine arrived. It was burned, you know, it was falling apart. And it's a shame because Clementine indirectly and directly references Richmond in this, and I showed that clip at the beginning of the video where she says, "Can't go back to Richmond, this is too much of a war zone." So the area around Richmond, as Abel had said, from Richmond to the coast, this area is a war zone. There's a war, and Richmond's probably right in the heart of it. And it's a damn shame because Clementine would have gone straight back to Richmond and Javier, and probably even Javier could have taught AJ baseball, like they had said. Now, that just, like I said, gives you an inclination that hopefully Richmond's safe. But there's a lot of possibilities from Richmond could be destroyed. Richmond could be involved in this war. Richmond could be just in the crossfire. But one bold take that I've seen from a lot of people, even though it isn't confirmed, the Walking Dead Wiki had stated it is possible the New Frontier is involved in the same war as the Delta. And this is supported by the attack on the McHale Ranch, Abel's mention of it. Again, remember, in the New Frontier, there was one of the leaders of the New Frontier, either Joan or Clint, that could get away determinately, and we never got an answer as to, you know, again, they were left with a question mark, and a lot of people had thought, originally, the Walking Dead final season story, we were supposed to be continuing with this war and all this, Joan and Clint returning potentially. There was a lot of possibilities of that, but that easily could mean that, again, when they were attacking Clementine at the ranch, they could have easily assumed that Clementine was a New Frontier soldier or whatever villain of this ranch group is, because it appears most of the people that were in the ranch are from the New Frontier. But based on what Abel said and stuff that Clementine mentioned in episode 4 and everything I mentioned in this video thus far, I believe Richmond, at the time the final season ended, is still around. There's obviously always that mystery of that caravan. Clementine had mentioned a caravan group if Lewis or Violet was kept alive at the end of the final season. Again, this wasn't mentioned if 10 was alive, but I still think there was a thing with this. They kept this pretty open to see that maybe this was just to the point that, you know, they aren't like with Marlon anymore. They're going to be more open and they're not just going to hide themselves in the woods. But a lot of people thought maybe Javier or Richmond, if it was destroyed in this war, could be part of this caravan group. So to end off the video, guys, Richmond, in my opinion, is still around. I don't believe it's been destroyed, and I believe there is a possibility in the future where we could go back if they have another game or spin-off of sorts. But I don't know if Javier is still there. That's one of the big mysteries, because again, it's kind of determinate, left up to the player if Javier wants to step up with Richmond or not and be that leader they need. But this is one of the biggest mysteries the Walking Dead game has, and we'll probably talk about some more of these mysteries, as I've, again, never got to discuss a lot of them after the series ended last year. But this is just one of the first ones I wanted to get my, you know, head into, start to really think about, and all that. But based on all the evidence I've shown here, it's pretty obvious Richmond is still around. It's just, I don't know what they had with this war, if they were involved, if they were just in, you know, collateral fire. But let me know down below in the comments, what do you guys think of Richmond? Do you think it was still around? Do you think it'll return if there's another Walking Dead game? Do you think we'll see Javier again? The Garcia family is confirmed as alive. Let me show you that really quickly. That model had confirmed they're somewhere over there, safely off camera, where no tragic plot events can befall them. And I talked about this in a video in the past. I'll link it down below in the description. You guys can go check it out. But they're alive. I believe Richmond's still there. And hopefully, if we do get another Walking Dead game in this Telltale universe, that we get to see Richmond back, Javier, at least something of this. But let me know down below in the comments what you'd like to see next. I want to thank y'all so much for watching this video. Again, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you made it this far. And let me know what you think down below in the comments. Appreciate y'all very much. We love you. Have a great one. Peace.